Hello everybody and welcome to this video, and in this video I'm going to bring you guys some of my thoughts about WARFACE 2021 correct for the beginning of July 2021. I'm also going to explain you the history of WARFACE, how it began and how much it changed. So if you still don't know that, I'm playing WARFACE for about 8-9 years. Yes, that's a lot. I was playing in the Russian server when it was only available in 2012, and I was playing in the closed beta of WARFACE Europe 2013 August. So if you're talking about WARFACE veterans, I'm surely one of them, and I've seen the game develop so much and change so much, and I want to explain you what is happening right now and are those changes good or bad. So at the beginning we had a game, we had stuff for WARFACE dollars, we had vendors, and we had credit random boxes. And don't get me wrong, those credit weapons were extremely good. We had the Carcom SMG for Engineer, for Sniper we had the AS-50, for Medic Saiga Bullpup, and for Rifleman the FN Scar Age. Now if we talk about July 2021, I understand that most of the people don't even play with those weapons because they are not very good as the new weapons. So basically a lot of people complained that these weapons were hidden behind a paywall and you couldn't get them, and you need more weapons. Updates that time were happening once in 2-3 months, so more new weapons needed to be added. So WARFACE made the first change. They added more weapons into the vendor section. And those weapons could actually compete with the credit random boxes weapons. You had the Carcom SNR there, the automatic one, not the semi-automatic that's now in the vendors. You had the M16 rifle, it was shooting 3 bullets that time, not fully automatic. But it was still a good weapon and it could compete with the credit random boxes. But now you think, oh, the problem is solved. New weapons in vendors. So no, WARFACE decided to add more weapons into credit random boxes, and they were more OP and more OP and more OP. And after a lot of requests, WARFACE has finally done something different. They started to change the credit random boxes into WARFACE dollar random boxes. So you're going to think to yourself, oh, it's great, everybody can get every weapon they want now for the simplest currency in the game, WARFACE dollars. But then a different problem came through. GeForce, which is owned by Crytek, has gone into financial difficulties. Basically, they weren't earning that much money for WARFACE. Why? Because everything was absolutely for free, so how would they earn money? I remind you guys, that time WARFACE didn't have skins for weapons, didn't have new armor, they only had the basic things. So the only way to earn money for WARFACE was only through VIP boosters, which, to tell you the truth, not a lot of people bought. Because of two reasons. One, there were codes with VIP boosters, you could just redeem them and get VIP boosters for a certain amount of days. And two, there were a lot of events that gave you the VIP booster as a reward, so you could get 3, 7 days, 14 days of VIP booster just for doing a specific event. And after that, My.com came into action and bought the rights of publishing the game from Crytek. My.com is owned by Mail.ru, which is basically the publisher of WARFACE in Russia. And in Russia, there are 70,000 players playing WARFACE. And in Russia, I remind you guys, we had the same thing as we had in WARFACE 2013-2014. Random boxes for credits and OP weapons in them. So what did My.com initially think? Well, it thought something like this. What works in WARFACE Russia will work in WARFACE International, Europe and NA, which is basically making the credit random boxes come back into the game. So yes, we got more and more random boxes for credits, and those weapons were only available through there. You couldn't get them like in direct purchase before, or you couldn't get them in special events. You could simply get them with one way, buying credits and buying the random boxes for them. But we looked at the bright side. Once My.com came into the game after the migration happened from Crytek to My.com, we saw updates almost every single month. We saw new special operations, we saw new events like the battle passes that were on the websites, we saw new weapons being added to the game every single update. We also saw a lot of new features like the marketplace, and we saw the items in services or inventory on the website, so you can basically take those items into the game whenever you want to play. And the items timer doesn't start immediately after you have finished the event, but only when you are able to play and you take the item and put it in your account in WARFACE. All of those changes were extremely good, but we still stayed with the core problem. Some or even most of the weapons were only available through random credit random boxes. And no, I didn't say random twice by mistake, because those boxes are extremely random. You can waste 10,000 credits and not get a gun, or you can just buy one box and get the gun. This is why it wasn't so good for most of the players. So after a while, WARFACE decided to take a different path, to add new weapons into the vendor section. The initial thought was that those legendary vendor weapons that were added into the game are going to compete with the random boxes weapons. But after a while, WARFACE has seen that not a lot of players actually play with those legendary vendor weapons, and they've decided to take a different path to allow more players to get the credit weapons. If players say that the random boxes for credits are bad, let's give them the ability to buy certain weapons for direct purchase, so you don't have to waste 10,000 or 20,000 credits and not get anything, so you'll just buy a gun for 2,000 or 1,500 credits. This idea was great, because now people don't have to waste thousands of credits on the random boxes and not even get the weapon. But the core of the core problem is still there. The weapons are still hidden behind a paywall, which still means that you will have to buy the credits in order to buy the weapons. And then WARFACE decided to take a different path, to change some of the random boxes for credits to random boxes for crowns and WARFACE dollars. And of course, the only weapons that are available are very old weapons like the Sega Bullpup, like the FN Scar Age, some weapons that were played a lot before, but now nobody ever plays with them. So that's very good way to make weapons that most of the people don't play with right now, to make them available for the public so they can get them and use their WARFACE dollars or crowns in order to do so. Which was a good addition at the beginning, but then people understood that more and more weapons are still coming to credit random boxes, and more weapons are still hidden behind the paywall. The good weapons are hidden behind the paywall. The old weapons that were played with a long time ago and they are not good anymore, they are basically for free, that you can get them with WARFACE dollars or crowns. But after a while we got more and more weapons coming into random boxes for crowns and for WARFACE dollars, and those weapons were like 1 or 2 years old, which means not very old like the ones that were at the beginning, which basically were 5 or 4 years old. But then the biggest change came into WARFACE, the in-game crafting system. So I know that the crafting system in the website was also available. Yes, I know that. But in order to get and play and basically have a chance to get the weapons, you had two problems. One, you had to buy the battle pass itself, which cost you about 500 to 1000 credits. And two, the chances to get the resources were extremely low. You had to get the top tier resource, which is the V resource. If you played that time, you would remember that. It was so rare to get him that people played 3, 4, 5, 6 months and weren't able to get it. And in order to craft a weapon, you needed 200 V resources, which is about 4 times or 5 times that you have to be lucky to get the resource from a crate. Nevertheless, you only had 4 weapons you could craft: AK Alpha, Typhoon, you had the Chris Super V Custom, and you had the Kraken Sniper Rifle. Now those weapons are very good, I'm not saying that they are not. And still, in WARFACE 2021, players still play with those weapons because they are decently good. But the problem was that it was so rare to get the top tier resource in order to craft the weapon. Therefore, this system wasn't a big success. Now meanwhile, all of those events of battle passes and website crafting is going on, WARFACE has decided to introduce a new event, a Top Gun event. This event is basically an event in which you play every day, you do like 50 or 100 kills in PvP or some kills in PvE in special operations, and you are able to get 1 or 2 permanent weapons. But those weapons, I wouldn't call them bad, they were good weapons, but not a lot of players played with those weapons. This is why WARFACE decided to give those weapons out for free in this event. And now we are coming to the in-game crafting system, and this system, by my opinion, is a great and huge success. Especially, you guessed it correctly, the people who don't buy credits, the free-to-play players. At the beginning, the crafting cards were available only through certain events, but slowly, more and more special operations came into WARFACE, and now there are like 3 or 4 special operations you could get crafting cards from every single week after finishing the mission successfully. Yes, the amount of cards you get every single week is random, so you can get from 25, 35, 50 to 1000 cards and to get the weapon itself, but still you see the progress, because on the previous crafting system on the website you didn't see any progress because of one reason. I don't know if you remember that, but you were able to get mostly tier 3 resources, and once you got those resources you could change them to tier 4 and then to tier 5, but eventually it just took you long time, actually too much time. It's like if you are playing WARFACE for a whole month or 2 months, you could just get 1 or 2 V resources if you are extremely unlucky, which happened to me. And you needed 200 of those resources. Anyways, let's get back into the in-game crafting system and why it's good. So after you get a certain weapon, you are able to craft it. You will need $30,000, but that's not a big problem. That's like 2 special operations and you already got 30,000 WARFACE dollars. And after you get the 1000 cards, and then suddenly you get in a special operation more cards for this weapon, so you can exchange them for free cards, which is extremely good because more and more updates came and WARFACE added more and more weapons into the crafting section, weapons that you don't get cards for in special operations, but you can only get them through free cards. For example, the Chapa Triple Threat, which is basically a credit good weapon. It's like OP credit weapon, and you're able to get it absolutely for free if you get 1000 free cards. And you have many ways to get those free cards. You can exchange them for free, for WARFACE dollars, for crowns. You can get them in events. You can get them in battle passes. There are many ways to get free cards and get the desired weapon you want. And after that came the last step of making WARFACE actually 99% free to play. Now you can get 90% of the weapons and all of the armor absolutely for free. What do I mean free? In-game currency, no need to buy credits. So I know a lot of you guys are going to complain and say, oh, the most OP weapon, the PP19 VTAs or the AMB are still not available for free. They are still hidden behind the paywall, and I'm going to tell you, correct, but wait. Every gun sooner or later is going to be for free or in event or for very cheap price, so just wait for that moment. You don't have to be greedy and say, oh, a new weapon came out, I want it now. No, you need to wait. And now you're going to tell me, how am I going to play if those people play with the best weapons and blah blah blah. So I'm going to tell you, use the ability that you have to craft weapons in the crafting section. A lot of the people don't even go to play special operations, don't even try to do that. They just go and play their 1 or 2 games, see that the other people are playing with better weapons, and then they leave. The special operations are very easy. Try to find 4 or 5 or 10 or a clan of friends that you can do the special operations with. All you have to do is to complete those special operations once a week. Nobody asks you to go and do them every single day. And also use the second option you have, which is using the best weapons available for you absolutely for free, which is the Bushmaster, which is available for crowns. You have the FN-FAL for riflemen, you have the Origin 12, you have a lot of weapons that you can get for crowns and a lot of good armor. Use those options, play the game, and don't be lazy. The weapons in the crafting section and the weapons that you can get for free for crowns in the shop for direct purchase are without a doubt as good as the top tier weapons you can get only from credits. You also have another option, the temporary weapons. In most of the events or battle passes you have weapons that you get for time, for a certain amount of hours or for a certain amount of days. Use those weapons, they have the same stats as the permanent ones. A lot of people literally cry that they cannot play with the AMB or the PP19 Vitaz or this or that weapon. But when I tell them, go to your inventory on the website, the items that you got from events, show me what you have there, and then they have that or this weapon for 3 or 12 hours or couple of days. So don't be afraid to use those weapons. As said before, they have the same stats as the permanent weapons. Oh, and I forgot to talk about contracts. Silly me. Well, it's something that should come in the July 2021 update to the PC version of WARFACE. It's something really cool in which you buy it for WARFACE dollars or crowns or credits, and after that you complete certain amount of missions and then you get a good reward. The rewards can be crafting cards for a specific weapon, free crafting cards, body skins, weapon skins, and even permanent weapons. I will explain you more about this system when it reaches the WARFACE International main servers. Currently it's only on Russian PTS server, so everything can still change. So on the bottom line, there is one thing I want to tell you. WARFACE is getting through a lot of changes throughout the years. More updates, more features, more available weapons and armor for free-to-play players. If you aren't greedy and you don't want everything here and now without any effort, so I'm going to tell you one thing. You're going to succeed in life, and you're going to succeed in getting the best things in WARFACE, because when you put effort into the game, you get the best you can. So try to do as much as you can, special operations, co-ops, ranked games, and eventually you will be able to get the weapon of your choice. WARFACE came through a lot, from 0% chance for free-to-play players to get good guns to 90% to get like 90% of all the weapons and all of the armor absolutely for free. That's a huge change and it's really appreciated. But after all of this, there is still one more thing to fix, and I'm going to talk about it in my future video. For now, I want to listen to your opinion. What do you think about the changes that WARFACE did throughout the years? Do you think the updates were good? Do you think something's still missing? Let me know in the comment section down below. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you stayed until now, you are awesome. Make sure to smash that like button, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys later. Bye bye!